Hello everyone, welcome to the day 5 of the Daily 5 MCQ series, and today we are going to discuss the next 5 PYQs from your 2025 prelims phase 1 of the NABARD grade examination, right? So yes, we are going to cover the extension and engineering part of this syllabus today. Okay, let's start with the first PYQ of 2025, that is, which of the following is not an objective of using seed cum fertilizer drill in crop production? Okay, this is one of the implement that we use in agriculture engineering. Okay, and they were asking not an objective, so yes, we know that it is option C, that is it is not used for the deep plowing in soil inversion, right? For that we have mold bowls and harrow, etc. So yes, what is this seed cum fertilizer drill? It is multifunctional agriculture implement, okay, which is designed to sow seeds and apply fertilizers simultaneously in a single pass using this particular machine, that is seed cum fertilizer drill. Okay, what are its core functions and uses? So it gives a simultaneous operation, that is sow seeds and applies fertilizer together. That's why it is saving our time, labor and fuel. Then precision placement, it accurately meters, that means it accurately measures the quantities of both seed and fertilizer and delivers them at a different depth, okay, to avoid their direct contact and the risk of not germination, right? So yes, that is also taken care of by this machine. Then it gives us uniform depth, that's why we will have a uniform you can say uniform growth and the height or the emergence of the seeds, right? It opens furrow consistently and covers it with the soil to protect them from birds and environmental factors. Okay, its primary benefits are reduced wastage of expensive agriculture inputs, it promotes uniform germination, then it drastically reduces labor requirement and tractor operational hours. Okay, it has different structures. Most important are the hopper, that is you will have two hoppers, one for the seed and one for fertilizer, of course. And this is important, the metering mechanism. Okay, the seed metering mechanism is present in here, which regulates the material flow, and the common types include the fluted roller and internal double cup wheel or the curve feed. Okay, these are the names of different metering mechanisms. Okay, and you can see the two tubes, one will be for the seed and one for the fertilizer. These are the transparent plastic tubes that allow easy detection of the clogs if there is any clogging, right? And yes, there will be furrow openers to open, then the machine will place a seed, place fertilizer, and again it is going to cover it. Okay, and there is one important term, that is zero till or the strip till. Again it is PYQ. So what is it? It is a specialized model that sows the seed directly into the unplowed soil. Okay, that's why it is called as a zero till or the strip till. Okay, so this is about the seed cum fertilizer drill machine. Next is, which of the following sprayer is most commonly used for the application of pesticide in the field crops? So we know most commonly we use a knapsack sprayer. Okay, so option B is the right option. So let's discuss different agriculture sprayers. Okay, so first is again the knapsack, that is very common in Indian agricultural labs, right? So yes, this is backpack mounted. Okay, and that's why it is portable and it gives us a spot treatment. It is easy for farmers to navigate you by having that sprayer on his back. Okay, so yes, it is used basically best for the small scale farms, then vegetables and nurseries. Okay, and these are the most common types. Then we have a power sprayers. These are motorized and they have motorized engines. They can create a high pressure and gives us a rapid coverage. Okay, they are suited for the large fields. Okay, paddy, sugarcane, cotton, and which have a dense canopy. Rocker sprayer, it is a it has a long handle and a high pressure capacity, and it is best for the tall fruit trees and the coconut groves and orchards. Okay, mainly the horticultural type, you can say. Then the food or pedal sprayers, these are of course foot operated pumps and hand free wand management, and they are used for the high volume spray, right? Again, it is suitable for the plantation crops, mango, citrus, mainly horticulture. Then the mist blowers. So mist blowers are uses the high velocity fan, and they create a fog atomized mist, right? And it is good for the long distance travel when you need fertilizer to reach the long distance, right? They are best for the tea and coffee plantation and dense leaf coverage, right? Then the tractor mounted boom sprayer, you can see this horizontal wide boom, right? That is the boom sprayer. It has a multiple nozzles and multiple row coverages, right? And it covers broad acre field crops like wheat, maize, soybean, etc. And now these days we have the drone sprayers, right? They are aerial automation spraying equipments. They're GPS guided and there is a zero physical contact, right? And they're best for the tall crops and muddy and inaccessible fields. Okay, so this is about the agriculture sprays. Next question is, as per the provision of 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, the tenure of the Gram Panchayat is what? So yes, this is we know option is the option D, that is 5 years. Okay, so let's discuss the PRI, that is Panchayati Raj Institution. It is a decentralized rural governance. Okay, so it is a system of rural local self-government, right? And it ensures the decentralized decision making and grassroots participation. Okay, this is the structure of PRI. It is a 3-tier structure. Okay, so at the basic village level we will have the Gram Panchayat, which is headed by the Sarpanch. Then at the block level, which is a link between these two, we will have a Panchayat Samiti, and it is headed by the chairperson or the block pramukh. And at the apex level, we will have a Jilla Parishad, which is headed by the president. Okay, so yes, these are the 3-tier structure. And at the village level, we have a Gram Sabha. It is a foundation of the PRI system. Okay, it consists of all the registered voters in that particular village. It is at the village level. Okay, and there are 3 committees that you have to remember. First is Balwantram Mehta committee. It recommended the 3-tier system. Okay, of this Panchayati Raj institution, and the first this kind of structure we seen in the Rajasthan implemented it in the Nagaur district. Then Ashok Mehta committee suggested 2-tier system, and the LM Singhvi committee recommended the constitutional recognition of the PRI. And after the committee's recommendation, a 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act was passed in 1992. The effective date of this particular change was 24th of April 1993, on which date we celebrate the National Panchayati Raj Day. Okay, and this added the Part 9 to the Constitution and 11th schedule to the Constitution, which has 29 functional items. Okay, and let's discuss some key features. Okay, so tenure is the 5-year. That was the PYQ, and if it is dissolved early due to any reason, you have to conduct the next election within a 6 months. Okay, it is a mandatory. Then the minimum age to contest for the election is 21 years. Then reservation, SC/ST will receive the reservation according to the proportion of its population, and women should receive the reservation not less than 1/3, that is 33% of the total seats. Okay, and yes, at the administrative heads, at the Gram Panchayat, it will be Panchayat Secretary, which will be appointed by the government. Then at Panchayati, it will be BDO, and at the Jilla Parishad, it will be CEO, which is often the IS officer. Okay, so this is all about the PRI. And then second last question is, Agricultural Technology Management Agency, that is ATMA, was established with which of the following primary objectives? So we know that it is to promote the decentralized farmer-led agricultural extension and technology dissemination. These were the key words, right? So what is ATMA? ATMA is Agricultural Technology Management Agency. In one of the year they asked the full form, and now they are asking about which of the following is the objective. Okay, so yes, it is launched by ICR under support to state extension program for extension reforms. Okay, it is a decentralized and demand driven agriculture extension system. These are the keywords. Okay, what are the objectives of ATMA? It objective was to strengthen the research extension and the farmer linkage along with other extension bodies, right? It provide an effective mechanism for coordination and management of activities of different agencies involved in technology adoption, validation, and dissemination at district level and below. Okay, so yes, it tries to increase the quality and type of technologies being disseminated. It also helps to move towards the shared ownership of agriculture technology system by key shareholders, and it helps to develop new partnership with the private institution, including NGOs. So Atma's governing board will have a district magistrate or collector as a chairman and CEO or CDO as a vice chairman. And the Atma's management committee will have a project directorate of Atma as a chairman. Okay, linkage mechanism. So there will be a research extension farmer linkage that it ensures the coordination through both top-down and bottom-up approaches, and there will be farm information and advising center which will plan and which will be act as a planning and operational arm of the Atma at the block level. Okay, so these are some of the important facts about the Atma. Now let's discuss the last question for today. So total number of KVKs that are functioning across India as per the latest information. This is again the PYQ. So we know that it is 731, and it was again highly repeated in the news. That's why it was asked, right? So what are the KVKs? KVKs are the district level farm science centers under ICAR. They try to bridge the gap between the lab to lands. They assess the location specificity of different technologies and information that is created, and they give the capacity building to the farmers and extension workers. The core mandate, and these are very important keywords for your examination, that is technology assessment and demonstration for its application and capacity development. Okay, so yes, Genesis Mohan Singh Mehta Committee 1973 conceptualized the KVK model. Okay, then Dr. Chandrika Prasad is credited for the success of KVK. First KVK was established in the year 1974 at Puducherry under TNAU University, and the KVKs are 100% fully funded by the Government of India under the ICR, and they are managed by different institutions, different NGOs, and state level agricultural universities. Okay, so what are the operational key activities of KVK? First is on farm testing, that is they test the location specificity of the new technology in diverse farming system. Next is the frontline demonstration. They will demonstrate new technologies to the farmers and tell their effectiveness. Capacity development, they will give the need-based hand-on training for farmers and local extension staffs. And the knowledge and resource center, they will act as a single window hub for district farmers, and they will supply quality seeds, planting material, and bioagents to the farmers. Okay, so yes, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next session.